What an amazing coincidence. The same day that I announced that I'm doing Protest the Hero discography, getting ready for the new Protest the Hero album, that they decide to release a new song entitled Clarity, which is coming off their new album. So, it's amazing timing. It's amazing. Let's just talk about Clarity. So, the first thing I do want to talk about is Chris Adler on drums. He's playing session drums. If you don't know who Chris Adler is, he is the drummer from Lamb of God. Amazing band, yes. But when I first heard the news, it was amazing. Don't get me wrong, it was amazing news to hear that. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But I was also thinking, Lamb of God, Protest the Hero, the writing styles are completely different. Like, in some ways, it could be a little similar, but mostly they write completely different, in my personal opinion, here in the music. So I was wanting to know what he can provide to Protest the Hero to maybe not overdo it, or I'm hoping he doesn't overdo it and he doesn't go too simple. He stays in the middle and brings some interesting parts, but also keeps beat in some sections, but overall gives some amazing drum parts to really make songs and this whole entire album stand out. Well, on the song Clarity, he did an amazing job. The drum work reminds me of past stuff from Protest the Hero, so it shows his drumming skills to basically remind us of basically the drumming from past releases, and also give a little bit of what his style is to throw into the tracks as well. So I have to give him some huge props on the fact that he didn't go too simple, but he didn't go over the top to really make the song sound too crazy. It's in the middle to where you can enjoy what the rest of the band is doing and also enjoy what he's doing, because some parts he's doing some extra stuff to really amp up what's happening in the track. So that was amazing. So big props to Chris Adler on that. So let's continue on. So the sound of this song reminds me of the past release from Protest the Hero, but I want to say that the guitar tone they picked for this album, for the rhythm section mainly, for the melodies, they still sound beautiful. The melody, guitar tone, the melodies on this track are just beautiful, and they're so gorgeous, and I just keep like repeating all the sections, basically repeating the entire track to hear all these melody parts they throw in, these slow parts, and basically these epic moments throughout the track. But the rhythm section really shows me that the guitar tone they picked was a little bit more aggressive, but not too aggressive to the point where it doesn't sound like Protest the Hero. It sounds like a completely different band. That's not the case. They just went, I think, in my personal opinion, what it sounds like to me, a little bit more aggressive guitar tone to maybe throughout this album we're going to get some heavier riffs, to get some heavier things. So maybe that's why they decided to pick, in my personal opinion, a more heavy rhythm guitar tone. But on the melody side, which is a big thing in Protest the Hero fan base, is that the melodies, the guitar melodies, are what really stand out, and the vocals as well. But the guitar melodies, like I said, are beautiful, and I keep repeating them because they're really interesting, and it keeps me thinking, how more interesting can they get with the melodies? How more creative can they get? And each album, and with this track, anticipating this new record, that I'm hoping there are some melodies on this album that are going to blow my mind, because on past releases from them, it has happened, so I'm hoping it happens again. And on this track, there were some melodies. I'm like, oh, wow. So, anyway, so the vocals are another big thing from Protest the Hero. The vocals are what you'd expect. There's some amazing vocal harmonies. There's some amazing high screams. There's some growls in there throughout the track. Basically, this song really feels like a majority of singing and kind of going in that higher register. There wasn't too many growls on throughout this track, but mainly it was the singing effect that this song really felt like it was a singing type song, where basically it didn't need that many aggressive vocal style, because mainly the main parts in this track, if you want to look at basically the big picture of this track and look at everything and what's the main focus of this track, is I think the vocals, which are basically singing in a lot of vocal harmonies to really give that epicness effect. And also I think the guitar melodies are the main focus as well, because there's a bunch of different varieties of guitar melodies that are throughout this track that I think those two things are the main focus. Now, don't get me wrong, the rest of the band sounds amazing. The whole entire song's amazing, but I think those are the two things that stand out in my personal opinion. So, big props. And so one more quick thing before we end this review is that the bass guitar, I could hear it. I like the bass guitar tone they picked. I put on my headphones, could hear that bass stumping along and really following along with the amazing riffage throughout this track. So big props to that. So overall, I love the sound of this track. I love this track. I'm going to keep listening to it. I'm actually going to listen to it right now after I get done with recording this, and anticipating the new album. So amazing. So got to give it to I gotta give it to them. Protest the Hero, once again, released an amazing track. So, can't wait for the new album. Thank you guys for watching. That's a review. Amazing track. Go check it out if you haven't already. See ya.